Stress is a good thing, because back in hunter and gatherer days, stress prepared the body to fight or flight. So when you were cooking some marshmallows and you opened fire as a hunter, not that they had marshmallows back then, and maybe a bear or a tiger came running through your campsite, or that stress, the initial visualization and the sound of the tiger coming through the bush, got the body ready to fight, give you energy to fight the tiger or the bear, or to run, or even climb up a tree. And what happens? The body prepares itself for battle by raising your blood pressure, raising your breathing rate, releasing your substrates into the bloodstream, such as your fats and carbohydrates, which is energy to make them readily available for the working muscles, to turn them into energy to swing the club and the spear and shoot the bow and arrow. So all the muscles get tense, the nervous system starts to fire up. The hormonal system activates and all the action hormones get released into the body, the enzymes get released. All of this is in preparation to battle against some foe or some enemy or some animal. And that's how it's designed, and it kept us alive. It kept us on edge and gave us extra energy. But these day and age, we don't have tigers running through your living room or bears jumping through your ceiling. Instead of them running through our living room, we actually get stress in many different ways. We get it from an email coming in, or a Facebook message, or a letter in the mail that creates some form of stress, because stress is an internal reaction to an external action. So a lot of the stresses aren't physical stresses or threats, but they still affect us psychologically. So whether that threat is physical or psychological, you still get that internal reaction to an external action, which might be that disturbing email, or that letter, or someone didn't like you on Facebook or unfriended you, and all of a sudden you're stressed out because you're internalizing it, and that's still a threat to yourself. So the body still goes through the same physiological change in terms of getting your heart rate up, bringing up your blood pressure, releasing your substrates into the blood, getting the muscles tense, firing everything up. But we don't actually physically express that stress through fight or flight. We just internalize it and maybe exaggerate it by having a drink or maybe a cigarette, or really in reliving it. And what basically happens, that body is no longer at ease. It's actually now diseased. And if that stays in that state for the long term, that can cause obviously coronary heart disease, diabetes, and all sorts of neurological, physiological, muscular type challenges, and ends up in a diseased state. But in the hunter-gatherer days, yes, we're diseased, but we released all that energy. We burnt off the energy. The hormone system started settling down. It came back to a homeostatic state. The nerves fired down. The muscles got fatigued. The energy got burnt. And all of a sudden, after you fought or flight, you feel better. And that's why when you exercise is one of the great ways to release stress, because actually it burns off of that energy, brings your body back to that balanced state, that homeostatic place, not where it's left in a diseased state or an imbalanced state that will become toxic and detrimental to your health over the long term, particularly if you internalize it. So one of the best ways to handle stress is what the hunter and gatherers did, and they had to do it to survive. But we actually have to consciously do it by having a workout, punching the bag, going for a walk, running up a hill, go to the gym, and then physiologically the body will come back to its nice balanced state, and that way you'll go from ease to disease back to eased, and that would be no cow poo.